Greetings, welcome. It is Monday. It is the Soule of Wisdom. It is segment 1. I am Dan. She is Beth. Hi.
Hi.
So, we've been doing, before we get going, we've been doing the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar. Very cool. But because it was the weekend, we had a couple of days that got opened off of camera. We had this lovely little thing here, which is basically a snowball pew-pew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes fire, just like, see, I just hit the camera with it with a little fire. So if you're not visually gifted, if you're on the podcast side, you just missed it. So that was no fun. And then we got 2 of these little guys. These are like little snowball pew-pew targets. So that's what we did over the weekend. Oh, okay. Little snowball went ricocheting across the room. Very cool. So today is the 6th. Let's open it up and see what we get. I don't know what this is. It's a bag of stuff. It is this thing here. Let me see if I can see it on the box somewhere.
I'm not sure what that is.
We're going to investigate what that is, and we'll get back with you on segment 2 when we build it, because I don't have a clue. Got me. It doesn't look like anything else I see on the box, but it could be hiding. We'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on with the show, shall we?
Yeah.
So what's our favorite city to talk about?
Lately, San Francisco.
San Fran Jose. We still have that Lego set of that we got to build too.
Yeah.
Because, by the time we get the thing built, because we're so busy, we're going to be done talking with San Francisco, because they will suddenly find the light, and they will be like this perfect city, and we won't have to talk about them anymore.
We'll have to get a different Lego set then.
Yeah.
But
what's the odds of that really happening?
Yeah, slim.
Slim, exactly. Okay. So, let's talk about San Francisco, because they have a new transgression to discuss. This from Fox Business. San Francisco restaurant that kicked out cops says it handled this badly, won't rule out doing it again. Well, that's fun.
We acknowledge we screwed up, but we're not making any promises.
Exactly. So Hilda and Jesse apparently is the name of the restaurant. They initially denied service to 3 San Francisco Police Department officers on Friday after they were seated at the restaurant. According to ABC7, one of the owners said that the on-duty police officer's presence made the staff at the restaurant feel uncomfortable. It's not about the fact that they were anti-police, co-owner of Hilda and Jesse, Rachel Silcox, said. It's about the fact that we do not allow weapons in our restaurant. We were uncomfortable and we asked them to leave. It has nothing to do with the officers. It has everything to do with the fact that they were carrying guns.
I'm sure if somebody came to rob them and they asked them to leave politely, they would acknowledge them and move on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
In a new Instagram post on Sunday afternoon, the restaurant co-owners apologized for asking the on-duty officers to leave. We made a mistake and apologized for the unfortunate incident on Friday when we asked members of the San Francisco Police Department to leave our restaurant. We are grateful to all members of the force who work hard to keep us safe, especially during these challenging times. The co-owners continued stating that they hope the incident will be a teachable moment, but stopped short of saying whether on-duty officers are welcome in the establishment. And then there's a whole thing about how Yelp has shut down reviews on their page because they started getting hit with massive amounts of 1 stars and stuff like that. Go figure.
Yeah.
Do we really have to be this friggin' stupid all the time?
Apparently.
Because it feels that way to me. There are good and bad in every segment of society, in every profession, in everything.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing we need to do is acknowledge that there's going to be good and bad. But there is always more good than there is bad, unless you're talking about the inside of a prison.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can flip that. So, there are more good cops out there than there are bad cops. They are there to protect you. If they are on duty, they are required to have their firearm with them at all times. It's not like they can leave it in their cruiser.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want them to anyways.
No.
Exactly what about a cop coming in and having a lunch in your establishment is frightening? What is uncomfortable about that?
Maybe the workers were undocumented.
Well, that's the workers' problem.
I don't know.
But so what if they are?
Yeah.
Do you honestly think the cop gives two craps?
Not at lunchtime.
No, he's there to have his sandwich and a Coke.
Yeah.
And that is all that cop cares about.
Yeah.
I've been in a lot of restaurants where cops have been in there. And not once have I ever noticed one of them checking the documentation status of the workers at the place.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I worked at Subway. That was like the first job I ever had. And the cops come in there all the time. I didn't care.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not like they're going to go home to get lunch.
No. I just wanted them to pay me. As long as they paid me, I was happy. And they would sit there and they would eat. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And the thing that they were saying too is it's like, well, we don't want weapons in our establishment. Well, tell me how keeping a cop with his weapon out suddenly makes your establishment safer.
It doesn't.
I don't see how it does. And maybe we have a different mentality, dear listener, than a lot of America, but we've said before, we live in Arizona. And dirty little secret about Arizona, we're all armed.
Yeah.
All the time. It is the old west out here. Pretty much anything goes. You can open carry. You can walk down the street with your sidearm completely visible and nobody cares.
Yeah. You see it all the time in like grocery stores and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we can go to Fry's, which is our Kroger equivalent, and there's people walking around all over the place with their sidearm.
Yep.
Fully visible. Now, I don't choose to carry that way. I prefer to be more discreet myself, but people do it, and we don't feel uncomfortable about it. And it's interesting too, because we're the fifth largest metro area, and yes, we have homicides, we have crimes, because that's any big city. But if you compare the amount of crime we have in this huge metro area to other huge metro areas, it's not even close.
No. It's way less.
It's a blip here. And I think a lot of it has to do, quite honestly, with the fact that everybody is carrying all the time. And, if you try something here, you are literally taking your life into your own hands.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bunch of people ready to stop that threat. And somehow, with all of these firearms moving through our community, somehow we're a relatively safe place. There's not many areas of Phoenix that I would be afraid to walk in.
There's
one
a
or
few.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not predominant.
No.
And even those one or two, it's not like they're these huge areas that stretch on for miles. It's like a couple of blocks segment here or there where it's got kind of like a bad rep.
And even then, it's not like I would be necessarily scared of like walking and being shot. It would be more like I wouldn't want to deal with being accosted by like the town drunks or the people that are just hanging on the street.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, everybody's got those little areas, but again, it's just not a dangerous place, and we are. I would venture to guess we're one of the most armed communities in the nation, if not the most armed.
Probably.
Maybe you could argue like places in West Virginia, which are also pretty liberal when it comes to all of that.
Yeah.
kind of another anything goes state. Maybe Wyoming, places like that. But, they're trying to, like, protect themselves against moose and stuff up in those areas.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. But to get back to the whole restaurant thing, I'm baffled as to why people are so scared of a firearm, especially one that's on the hip of a policeman.
Because the media has brainwashed people.
Oh yeah, most certainly. But you should unbrainwash yourself on that, because that restaurant, if you got two cops sitting in there, that's probably one of the safest places in San Francisco at that point.
Yeah.
Because a criminal ain't going to want to deal with that.
No.
They will move on.
Yep.
But it's kind of like the gun-free zones that surround every school. All those signs do is make it a target-rich environment. Because you're just flat telling people you cannot go in there with the idea of protecting yourself. So the criminal goes, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same kind of stuff here. I don't know. I continue to be baffled and disappointed by the choices that are made, again, in one of the most beautiful cities in our nation. But, if they keep making these choices and they keep looting and they keep thieving and they keep closing down stores and they keep pooing in the streets, it won't be beautiful for that much longer.
No.
Alrighty, we just thought we'd bring you that latest in the San Francisco update. I think we'll leave it there for now. We'll have another segment in a couple of hours. Please do visit us at soulwisdom.com, S-O-U-L-E, wisdom.com in the meantime, and you can see all the fun things that we have there. And please also do like, subscribe, share, that sort of thing. So thanks for listening to us, and we'll be back in a couple hours.